Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 4th of July. So we have Independence Day today, so the volumes this afternoon will probably be very light. I would expect. There's in fact just one notable number coming out today, which is the services PMI for the UK, so for the pound. So aside of that, US bank holiday, so this afternoon, as I say, maybe quite quiet. This morning, well, perhaps we're all taking a break. I don't know. We'll see how this pans out, but not expecting masses. But we'll see. As I say, we'll see how it pushes through. For now, though, we just run back into. Let's looking at euro dollar first, running back into its monthly pivot here. It seems to be struggling around these highs, but it's holding up. That's the only thing. It tested a few highs. It sort of tested lower highs coming through yesterday, and you see on this hourly picture, it just sort of was just consolidating more than anything else. Eventually, later on, it's pushed up, heading up. It hasn't quite pitched into that monthly pivot, but you can see how pinched price action is here between the two pivots. The pivots, today's pivots, very pinched, so they could easily be overrun if anything significant was to come out. Where to? Well, it's looking. As I say. Actually, it looks like there might be a bit of hidden divergence there, but that's already priced itself in and done and happened. If it can break above that monthly pivot, well, maybe we got a bigger push on towards the L1. I think it may just lack pace today. If it starts rolling, breaking the 60-minute 21 exponential I've got on here, maybe the downside's got potential, has got an untouched daily pivot below. It has got a lot of support in terms of these moving averages, but basically that 60-minute 50 provided support all afternoon yesterday. Maybe eventually that'll break, but for now, I'd almost expect sideward price action. Cable. Well, cable has sort of at least moved. Looks like it's heading up towards its monthly pivot. It hasn't kicked into that yet. Got the potential. This 4-hourly may be a little bit more positive at the moment, and looks to be heading that way. Although just effectively diverging where it is. Even I think if it pivots into the R1 it might diverge, but we're back into those prior highs there. Now I think there were plenty of orders at one stage sitting above there, but maybe they've been snatched off or moved, because we 32.20, we got around about that sort of area. There was buy orders sitting above there when I looked yesterday, so we could see those orders and those from these prior highs snatched away. We'll see, but at the moment, well, yeah, more positive than negative on the picture there, but again we've got an untouched daily pivot sitting below, so well, if it draw a trend from the lows here, if it breaks that trend, more likely to be a bit bearish, but from where it is at the moment it has to remain bullish. Okay, dollar yen. This is a very short term look at the market. I'm not bullish on the big scale on the pound, by the way, but there we are. It is moving in that direction. Dollar yen seems to be having a bit more of a retrace here. It's already back now to the weekly pivot. Caught hold of that. Looks like it's heading back to its monthly pivot. And this is just really reflecting a bit of dollar weakness across the markets. Actually, for a change, it's moving and correlated with the pound and the euro. So untouched monthly pivot below, which could be next. Okay, it's dollar yen, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, not really, as I say, an intraday trader for me, but for some they like it. Aussie dollar, well, we had retail sales out overnight. Let me just refresh and see how that went, but it would look like it was partially positive at least. Yep, came out slightly more positive there. Trade balance was lower significantly though, but let's come down the time frames here. Running at the moment to its 4 hourly 100, still got an untouched monthly pivot above there, might at some stage get there. There's no divergence on the RSI here, it's fine, it's all pushing up properly. Any gradual failure from where it is, it has got a daily pivot below, so there is that potential for it to run through there, but the retail sales price has pushed it up at the moment, and well, if the others are starting to continuing to push up the pounds, it appears to be, we may see an upward movement in the Aussie dollar, and again looking back towards monthly pivots there. Right, and finally the Canadian dollar. Okay, so slightly broken further down as well, so into its monthly pivot finally. I thought it might have done it yesterday, but its ranges are very, very tight, and where they are, it's sitting there at the moment, but still looking like it could continue in this run at the moment. So it looks a bit like dollar weakness across the board at the moment, so we've got to accept that. Regardless of thoughts, and well, this could break down further towards its back down towards its S1, but it's not very many pips in anything here at the moment. And the thing to bear in mind, quite often, like the yen and the CAD and some of these pairings, they move better in the afternoons. The dollar's a bit more active. I don't think you could just be sitting there all morning doing nothing there. So overall, not the most exciting market. As I said, the only data coming out today is the services PMI at 9:30 for the pound. Have a great day. Bye for now.